Level 80, Heart of Darkness. Thancred is looking particularly chipper despite the heavy rainfall. While this downpour is precisely the result we were hoping for, the novelty of standing outside in the rain does wear off rather quickly. Not to mention Guy is looking a bit under the weather. Let's continue this conversation in Eden's core. See to Eden's core. Yes, sir. That we will. Ere we set forth to restore the element of ice, I would discuss the manner in which the summoning shall be undertaken. Just tell me one thing, is this going to bring the empty back to the way it was before the flood? While none can say for certain, the change we have observed at points of ethereal intersection doth give us cause for optimism. It may be reasonably assumed that the empty shall continue to transform and, in the decades to come, regain a semblance of its former state. Decades? I don't think you've quite grasped the sheer scale of the damage left in the wake of the flood. It would have swallowed the entire world if Menphilia hadn't stopped it. Even if Reen has inherited her blessing, wounds like that don't heal overnight. After all, the empty has been utterly devoid of life for 100 years. And it might take even longer than that to bring life back. I don't expect immediate results, but I do know that it will stay like this forever unless we do something about it. My sentiments precisely. Only once the final element is restored shall we have a glimpse of the future that awaiteth those of generations yet to come. You do all this for a world you may not live long enough to see? While here I am so absorbed in my own problems that I spare barely a thought for anyone besides myself. Yeah, we're not even from here. For so long I've listened to that voice telling me what to do, what to be. I was so scared of what might happen if I disobeyed, but I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to be me. Who am I? What am I? Perhaps it's better if I never find out. If Reen's the Oracle of Light, here to mend this broken world, what does that make me? Gaia, the Oracle of Darkness, bringer of misery and death, a monster. It's no wonder they left me. Mother, father, and the next. It'll be all of you. Then I'll be back to where I started, where I've always been, alone. She's such an optimist. Gaia, is it the fairy? What's wrong? Afraid I might lose control and ruin all your carefully laid plans? No, it's you I'm worried about. Green, I'm going outside to clear my head. You just do what you need to do, alright? Something's wrong, I know it. That much is clear. If we have a repeat of our first visit to Eden, we may even be joined by those Voidsent friends of hers. If you go and see what Gaia's doing, Urianger and I will stay with Reen. Rene, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. They say it once in a while, I just could never remember. Glad I don't call her Rhine all the time. My name is Gaia, that's what you said, isn't it? Eden, the flood, what does it all mean? No, it can't be. Is this what it's been waiting for all this time? Finally, you remember. Ah. What is this? The darkness that dwells within you, Gaia. Cursed spawn of light are drawn to it like moths to a flame, pathetic, mindless, and easily bent to my will. Sin eaters? Now the time of some... Oh, I missed it. No, no, no. Zilly, Reen senses sin eaters. What's happened? Don't try to fight them. Just bring Gaia back inside. Quickly now. Guess we're gonna have to fight that before Shiva, I would assume. What's happened to her? That's a concern for later. First, we must deal with those sin eaters. Silly, if thou wouldst care to repel our assailants without, I would task Thancred with standing guard within. I shall tend to Gaia meanwhile. Eden's Verse, Iconoclasm, now accessible. Duty Finder has been updated with a new regular duty. Eden's Verse Iconoclasm, level 80. As you and your comrades prepare to restore the last of the 6 elements, Gaia's mind is suddenly seized in the grip of an unknown and malevolent force. Dark ether swirls around her and slowly coalesces into an ominous glyph hovering high above Eden. From nowhere, a vast swarm of sin eaters circles around it as moths to a flame, and a voice that emanates from within the core claims to hold dominion over these creatures of light. While its true purpose remains unknown, one thing is abundantly clear: it must be vanquished before it is allowed to place your mission in jeopardy. Oh, there we go. Finally. Finally. 32 minutes. Now watch me wipe. Eden's Verse Iconoclasm. Antithesis Conscient. The Idol of Dark.
So many of them. But nothing we can't handle.
I watch some people just drop out when we get started. Portals. It's like a wall boss. What are we supposed to do? I mean, I figured it'd be something like that. Okay, what are we supposed to do here? We can't attack them, so I assume we just stay out the way. I was paying attention to the damn portals. Where the hell are we supposed to go with these? How do we know which portals are gonna go first? I didn't see which way they, what order they, manifested. Hey, what are we supposed to do here? What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to connect them? What the hell did I get hit with? I mean, I had the stack on me, but they all stacked up with me. Did I just take too much damage? I mean, I'm in tombstone gear. Oh, we're supposed to go to opposites? Okay. I'm growing white, so... I'll just stay here then. Stay here. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. And now that I've said that, we're going to die. Alright, raid wide, okay. Oh, this is supposed to be the fun part? Nope. Did something wrong. I saw the portals. I thought the dark ones had formed first. No, I don't have whatever that is. Okay, which ones were first? How do we tell which ones go first? He's almost dead. Somebody help beat him already. Did we not have a limit break? I wasn't paying any attention. I was just trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to be doing. It was alright. I couldn't figure out, like, I saw the color of the portals and they're like a pink and a purple. I assume, like, I just don't know how to tell which one goes first. We'll sort it out next time. When we finally get around to doing the savage ones. That was over 30 minutes waiting for that. They left before I could give a commendation. She won't wake up. What do we do? Hope it doesn't take a half hour for the next one to pop. What is this place? Where is everyone? So I'm all alone. Even the fairy is gone. Endless silence, endless darkness. Is this what death feels like? I beat the thing, so she's gonna wake up now? It's no use. No one can hear me. How ironic. All those times I wanted peace and quiet, and now that I finally have it, I wish I had someone to talk to. I thought I couldn't stand to be around them, all their interfering and fussing, and yet I was never lonely. But it's no use. Even after everything we went through, my memories still won't come back. There is no future awaiting me, only emptiness. Those memories, they can stay lost forever. If only this pain will leave me. Do not succumb to the darkness. Now I close my eyes and sink into darkness. And then I'll suffer no more. Gaia! Mother, father. Wake up! I understand now. Why wait for tomorrow to claim us? Gaia, can you hear me? This perfect moment never has to end. I'm not giving up on you, Gaia. Say something. What do you want? Please, I'm begging you. Remember all the things we said we'd do, like going to the second serving for coffee biscuits. I never... Gaia? Never agreed to anything of the sort. Oh, thank goodness. I was so worried about you. Do you have to be so loud? The fairy fell silent, only to be replaced by Reen's voice ringing through my head. I never thought I would be so glad to hear it. Level 80 on thin ice. Gaia's recent ordeals have left her rather more subdued than usual. You've all gone through a lot of trouble on my part. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Anyway, I've delayed you for long enough. Please carry on with what you came to do. Oh, so now we're gonna fight Shiva. I'm glad you're back to your usual self, but how are you feeling? Much better now, but something is still bothering me. The fairy spoke to me in a dream, and a stream of memories rushed through my mind. I don't recall anything like this happening before, and I'm not sure what it all means. What sort of memories? Can't make any sense of them. They were only brief flashes seen through someone else's eyes. At least that's what it felt like. Penphilia, that is, the first Oracle of Light, once served Hydaelyn as the word of the Mother. If the Oracle of Darkness is her counterpart under Zodiark, then we had best prepare ourselves for the worst. Aye, the Knight's return did tip the ethereal balance towards activity, which may have served to awaken the fragment of his power in the first. Having thus roused, he did then fix his gaze upon she who had been marked by darkness, Gaia. Marked or no, Gaia is still her own person. Everything all right? It's nothing. Anyway, let's forget about all that for now. There will be plenty of time to think it through once the last element's restored. If thou believest thyself well enough, then I see no reason for delay. Let us forthwith attend to the revitalization of ice. Shiva then. Zillia is the only one here to have actually seen the primal. Perhaps you could describe her for us? A woman named Iseo made herself a vessel for Shiva. She and the great worm Svalgar shared an undying bond. So she summoned into her body the imagined essence of someone who lived over 1,000 years ago. That such a thing should be possible. The long since departed Shiva was a source of great inspiration to Iseo, whose method of summoning differed greatly from any we had previously encountered. By the echo did she bear witness to the deeds of the noble Shiva, and thus was she moved to dedicate her being to that selfsame cause. 'Twas this devotion that granted her the power of the primal. So she was able to control it herself? Not getting any funny ideas, are you? Just thinking aloud, that's all. Anyway, we'd better get going. Our journey leadeth to a great glacier situated in the northernmost region of the Empty. I'll get us there as quickly as I can. It's time to draw out the ether. I was thinking that I should go with you this time. I want to be the vessel for Shiva. Being still and passive by nature, ice is the element that is most strongly aligned to light. I'll need to get close and use my own abilities as well as Eden's to draw it out. So that the Oracle of Light becometh the Oracle of Ice. I cannot claim to be in favor of this stratagem, and yet the primal we encountered in the source was summoned in much the same manner. The inherent advantages are undeniable. Absolutely out of the question. Have you forgotten what Zilly does to the primals we summon? I'm not about to stand by and watch as she and Reen beat the tar out of each other. In any case, the ether only returns to the Empty once the creature's been slain, although it seems you haven't taken that into consideration yet. Presumably there's a safe way to disperse it, but it's still far too risky. I thought you had more sense. But it's not as bad as it sounds. Were the deiform entity as volatile as the primals we have previously summoned, it would be logical to assume that in her role as conduit, Reen would be hard-pressed to retain control. Lily would have no recourse but to defend herself by any means necessary, else her life be forfeit. I know it's dangerous, but I can't let that hold me back. Please, I've got to try. But I don't see why this is even necessary in the first place. You never had to take a risk like this for the other elements, blah. Eden possesses almost infinite power, but what would happen if it began acting without my intervention? If it started to feed on the ether just like other Sin Eaters, it would undo all of our hard work. It is a disconcerting eventuality and one which cannot be dismissed. I'm worried that even if we realign the elements, things will eventually return to how they were following the flood. But if I train Eden how to nurture the environment rather than drain the life from it, we can leave it to take care of the empty in our place. I'll channel the ether through myself and show Eden how it's done. This isn't some house pet we're dealing with. If it all goes wrong, then what? I know this all sounds like I'm taking a leap of faith, but it has been a gamble every step of the way. We've managed to come this far because of faith in ourselves and in each other. I made my feelings on the matter perfectly clear, but what say you, Zilly? My memories to guide the summoning. What could possibly go wrong? I'll hold back as much as possible. We're not holding back. I suppose that if you've got your heart set on this, there's no point trying to dissuade you. Just don't do anything reckless. Is that clear? That's crystal. This is going to work, I promise. I'll make sure of it. Well, for all our sakes, I certainly hope so, because if the primal takes over, it'll be fine. With all of you by my side, I know whatever happens, it'll work out in the end. All of us, I hope you're not including me. I can't even deal with my own problems, never mind yours. It's enough just knowing you're here. Anyway, I've decided to take a leaf out of your book. I'll do what I want when I want, and I've made my decision, so now I have to see it through. Yes, but this is a different kettle of fish altogether. Well, the point is that this is what I want, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it work. So this is how much it means to you. Memories of Shiva envelop your mind. I don't know how, but I can see her too. This might actually work. Eden's Verse, Refulgence, now accessible. Duty Funner has been updated with a new regular duty. Alright, this will be the last one for this series. Hopefully we won't have to wait a half hour for it. Level 80, Eden's Verse Refulgence. With the dark entity that haunted Gaia defeated, at least for the time being, you return to the task of restoring balance to ice, the final element. Being the most strongly aligned in favor of stasis, it appears that Reen's direct involvement will be required to properly manipulate the ether. Inspired by the tales of his sail on the source, Reen decides to use her own body as a vessel and wield the power of Shiva. Alright, level 80, Eden's Verse Refulgence. Shiva.
I call upon the power of Shiva.
Norrant, Eden's Verse Refulgence. Territor of Frost, Shiva.
No! She's lost control! You
You've got to stop her!
That's what we do.
Fools. You would stoke the fires of conflict. The light shall usher in peace. Such
Yeah, I'm
impudence!
stunned.
Resplendent ice, grant me strength.
Oh, ice physics. Great.
Your blood shall freeze.
Alright. Well, so far so good. It's usually pretty easy this early on. Okay, what do we do about frozen mirrors? Did I get out of that in time? I didn't get out of that in time, that's for sure.
The light shall usher in peace.
Yeah, I didn't see the eye the first time, but I figured since it stunned me. Oh no, I jumped right off. Didn't realize I had that much. Just trying to jump out of the AoE.
Tranquility must be restored to the land.
Okay.
darkness, be gone! Light consume you!
Not enough people on that one.
Such impudence!
Yeah. Should have just dove. I would have had enough room from there, huh?
Resplendent ice, grant me strength!
What the hell?
Shatter!
Like I didn't move and it just gonna slip. Maybe I guess maybe I tapped it. Or does it push you? Nice physics, fun.
Shatter!
Guys, it's like it
The light
like targeted
shall
it.
usher in peace.
Slippery. I got stunned. I had turned, so I guess I turned back when I attacked.
Such
Oh.
power! I can't!
Well, that was something.
The
light.
It's too much for her to bear! Ugh, she won't last much longer! Enough of this! Power of darkness, answer my call! Ugh! Ugh! Yeah! Damn this light! Damn it all! I won't give up! Not on my future! Our future! I want to see what tomorrow will bring!
Yay. We got through them. Yeah, the ice physics. Like, not a fan of ice physics. Eden's verse complete. I want this. Oh, I got it. Yay. New minion. No mount, huh? All right. Well, let's continue on. Green. You were there. I heard you. What happened to Shiva? Is she still in control? No, she's gone, but Gaia. What? That hammer, it matches your dress. I see you're back to your normal idiotic self. Look, isn't it pretty? Maybe we could take it with us. Ice tends to melt, you know. Not this sort. Well, if you say so. Anyway, it might even make a nice necklace. That's a brilliant idea. Will thou not rush to her aid? Perhaps I'm getting slow in my old age, because it would seem Gaia's beaten me to it. Think that she would be the one to break the ice. Ahem. They may have gotten off to a rocky start, but I think they'll make quite the pair. Is that a hint of melancholy I detect in thy voice? Something akin to a pining mother bird whose chicks have flown the nest? Father bird, if you don't mind, but you're not entirely wrong. Still, when the day finally comes to say goodbye, it heartens me to know she won't be alone. After that, we can go to the second serving for coffee biscuits. Fine, you win, and if they're anything less than perfection itself, I'll never let you live it down. If they're not to your liking, there are plenty of other things to try. I suppose we both deserve a little treat after all that hard work, hehe. We certainly do, hehehe. There we were, laughing as if we had not a care in the world. Fleeting though it was, in that moment I was content. My life was never meant to be so simple. So sorry, everyone. I clearly have a long way to go before I can handle that kind of power. But we achieved what we set out to do, as I had faith we would. So without further ado, let's return to camp and admire our work. On thin ice, complete. It's life. Level 80. Life finds a way. Rene is ecstatic to see the first signs of greenery in the empty. I can feel all of the revitalized elements working in harmony. I've always believed Eden had the power to restore the empty, but I never expected it to happen so quickly. You're the one who made all of this possible. I think we owe it all to Gaia's skills with the hammer. I never did get the hang of summoning primals correctly. Hammer time. Her and Nero. Hammer, whatever are you talking about? I'm a woman of gentle birth, hardly the sort to be swinging such a rude thing about. Tilly must be imagining things, teehee. I wonder if the effects from the rebalance ether will spread to the rest of the empty. Perhaps we'll just have to wait and see. Besides, I'm sure we could all do with a rest. I must say, Reen, it's refreshing to see you take a more measured approach for a change. Well, if my experience here has taught me anything, it's that I shouldn't rush into things unprepared, and I've also learned that there are some problems that can't be solved alone. Is that so? Since you freed me from Yulemore, I've met all sorts of kind people who've gone out of their way to help me. I thought that I should do everything in my power to repay their kindness and make the world a better place. But now more than ever, I realize that there's a limit to what I can achieve by myself. Even though I was able to summon Shiva, I couldn't control such vast amounts of ether. If Gaia hadn't been there for me, I might never have returned to normal. I could say the same about you. I was trapped in a nightmare, but you freed me. Seems we're more alike than I thought. We may not be able to do everything by ourselves, but if we look out for each other, then we can face our problems together. That's if you don't mind. No, it's fine, really. Things don't work out, we can always go our separate ways. But on the other hand, if I can resist the urge to punch you whenever you annoy me, which I must say is quite often, I have no objections to staying around. You mean it? Oh, thank you, Gaia. May I suggest we continue the conversation in Amarong? Though the empty maid now supporteth foliage, the land's normalization hath but begun, and to linger overlong still entaileth risk. Is aught the matter, Thancred? Nothing you need worry about. Let's go. I'm wrong. Before we do anything else, we should report to Yalford. He'll want to know how we've been getting on in the empty. Speaking of Mordsuk, there was a snack of some sort that caught my eye last time. I can't quite describe it, but it looked squidgy. Despite a strong suspicion that I may live to regret it, I'd like to try one. The worms! Oh, I think I know the one you mean. They might not be much to look at, but I bet they taste amazing. Perhaps we could also try a pot of those jellied wrigglers or whatever they're called. I'll even let you take the first bite. No thank you. First coffee biscuits, now worms and jelly. Heavens forbid the two of you might actually eat some proper food. Dilly, may I ask a favor of thee? Whilst Thancred and I return unto the Crystarium to inform our comrades of our recent exploits, I would have thee accompany Rene and Gaia to Mordsuk. hell is it? Oh, it's like hiding right there. I trust all is well, Miss Gaia. It will be once we get out of the desert town. If I have to spend another night in that dingy little room, I shall scream. I'm terribly sorry to hear that the accommodation was less than satisfactory. I'll investigate the availability of more comfortable lodgings post-haste. Yes, I think we'll be staying in Mord Souk, at least for the time being. It might take a while for me to write the report, as our expedition was rather eventful. I really appreciate everything you've done, and I'm sorry for all the trouble I've put you through. Still fretting about that, are you? What's done is done. Besides, it all worked out in the end, didn't it? You're right. Now, how about that treat we promised ourselves? They might not have coffee biscuits here, but I've heard the Wriggler cakes are to die for. Was that you'll die from eating them? Only one way to find out, I guess. I'm sure trying the local delicacies will keep us occupied between writing reports and thinking about the next plan of action. Hopefully, we'll have another chance to visit the Empty to see how things are coming along. Don't even think about leaving me behind. Life finds a way. Complete. Worlds apart. Yalford is the bearer of tidings of some description. I think this is the last one. Let me double check that. This is 5.2, yeah. Good news, or at least it has the potential to be good news. I've received word from Master Urianger. Unfortunately, the message was rather thin on details. He only requested that you return to the Crystarium and meet him at the Wandering Stairs. Not the most likely of places for important meetings, but I suppose you might be able to squeeze in a pint or two while you're there. We'll have to come back to that. Unlock Savage. Where the hell is he? Oh, is he up? How was I supposed to know? Get up there from here? Gotta go back to the Ethernet. There's got to be a way up there. I just don't know how. I don't want to spend 3 or 4 minutes looking around for it. Just don't spend a lot of time here, so I'm not super familiar with where everything is. Am I wrong? Is he not up here? Where the hell is he? This is it, right here. Worlds apart. Down. Okay, I was down there though. I did not see him. Oh, there's a... I'm looking for a play button. Like the exclamation point or whatever. Pray accept mine apologies for calling thee hither at such short notice. The matter I wish to discuss is of considerable import. It's that urgent. Wouldn't it be quicker to use those link pearl things Reen's been telling me about? These are words best delivered in person. Bad news. Something happened to the empty? Not that doth warrant our immediate attention. The elements are in a state of equilibrium, and the propagation of flora continues apace. So what's this about, then? As thou art aware, we are not of this world, hailing from what is referred to as the Source. However, unlike Zilly, Thancred and I exist only as ether given corporeal form. Our bodies remaineth on the Source, though the thread that binds us to them doth grow weaker with the passage of time. And if you stay here too long, you might never be able to return. Precisely. Now with the wheels of change and the empty set in motion, we believe this is fitting juncture to take our leave. We shall but regret not being present to see the transformation reach its completion. That hardly seems worth losing your bodies over, though. If you have to go back to your own world, who are we to stop you? I always knew this day would come. You'll still have Gaia and Zilly. I know that you'll see this through to the end, together. Yeah, I can come and go as I please. We will. I may not be half the woman Menphilia was, but I have friends I can turn to. I might be brutally honest in their opinion at times. Or prefer to save their words and let their actions do the talking, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We won't let you down. Just promise you won't transform into a crazy ice lady and try to kill me again. Though I can't say what the future might bring, no doubt Reen and Gaia will need your support in the days to come. Alas, the mysteries surrounding the fairies are yet to be solved. Whether thou should find the answer or that thou seekest, or nay, lend not thine ears to its honeyed words, for thy will is thy own. Never forget this. I won't. The time of our departure is at hand, yet know that no matter where we may be, ever shall we pray for your success. Seems a little early. We haven't found a way home yet. Therianjay and Thancred set to leave the first. It seems wise to share this development with Yalford, who will continue to oversee expeditions into the empty. But when I clicked on it, it said this quest was patch 5.2. So it seems premature. You back sooner than expected. Is everything all right? Oh dear, that's rather unfortunate. I dare say it's something jolly important for them to leave in such a hurry. In any case, I wish them the best of luck, wherever their work may take them. I shall remain here and hold the fort, as it were, and make the necessary provisions should any further forays into the empty be required. Safe travels, Mistress Silly. So I assume that... So this is 5.2, so they find a way home before it was released. Before the next series is released.